When I first came to LA, I played on the academy team for 100 Thieves. Our coach always took us out after we had like a 2-0, 3-0 week to get dumplings together. And I really, really cherish those moments, just eating with all like my best friends at the table. And I think it's just very comforting food. Got the xiaolong bao and my favorite beef. Back in Toronto, I never really ate much different food, but I think moving to LA really opened my food palette. I really enjoy just tasting all the wonderful food here. Shout out to my boy Grayson, Golden Glue. I really appreciate him putting me and my teammates on dumplings and a whole bunch of other really nice places in LA to eat. After wins, we've been going out for team dinners. I'm always hoping we get to go to get dumplings every single time, I'm hoping. Maybe the next win.
Welcome back, everybody. It's great to see Tenacity adjusting to the food scene with his teammates here in LA, just as well as he adjusted to the LCS stage in Dining Together, delivered by Grubhub. However, he's talking about, hey, maybe dumplings after the next win. Well, right now, their backs are against
early dinner.
The wall. It is 2-0 for FlyQuest, one more L for 100 Thieves, and they're out of this series.
Okay, listen, I'm going to be completely honest and transparent with the viewers here. I've tried my best to be completely unbiased in this casting, but we're down 2-0 right now, and forget about my 100 Thieves allegiances. I just want more games of League of Legends, okay? So, come on, 100 Thieves! Give me something here to cheer for, please! I can't keep getting tweets saying I'm cursed! Help me, man, as we're gonna go into game number 3. It looks like we've seen a bit of a change here. It's 100 Thieves taking the blue side.
Get Mob Psycho in here. We need to get rid of these curses. Clear it out. Some interesting adaptations here. We're just gonna keep on banning jungle, it looks like. Vi plus Elise plus the Viego. I have to assume FlyQuest are going to continue the trend as well. They've always done the Rakan ban because that has been Busio's best engaged champion all throughout his academy career as well.
So the thing is, we finally get to see 100 Thieves on blue, and the difference with this means you can't just ban Viego and Lee and then first pick the Wukong away. 100 Thieves has the option of first pick this time around. So I'm curious how that's going to warp things. I fully expect 100 Thieves to take Wukong if FlyQuest ban Lee Sin here like they have in the previous couple of games. It is the Viego and Rakan. It is Elise, Vi, and Annie. These 5 bans have been the same in the first 2 games. I want to see if they keep that Lee Sin. They will. All 6 bans in the first half remain.
Yeah, and I'm going to call that they're going to pick Wukong here. Yeah, I came up with that myself. That's a brilliant pick.
Excellent work.
Yeah, thank you, guys. That's that
100 Thieves insider information. Be careful with that. Don't give too much away.
Yeah, no.
Headshot might get mad.
No, he might, but either way now.
What's it going to do?
The script will be flipped, right? Now they're going to potentially look at Jinx. Do they send Prince back onto the Zeri? Looks like a toss-up between the two. Who would you go with here in this
Well,
position?
I would go with the Zeri. I feel like the Jinx suffer with the taunt.
Big Maokai. Surprise big.
So Maokai, it's actually funny because Spica and FlyQuest, Maokai has been nerfed. This was the champion where FlyQuest were the team most utilizing Maokai when it was at its most OP, most broken before the Maokai nerfs and before the Demonic Embrace nerfs. But both LPL and LCK have continued playing the Maokai even after the nerfs. They've just adapted some really interesting builds. So we'll see if they do them here. I saw a Mandate Maokai jungle. As a jungler myself, that makes me feel a little weak inside, but you know, you can also go full tank Maokai. We'll see what Spica cooks up here.
Well, with the Jinx and Thresh left open after FlyQuest's first round of picks, 100 Thieves are happy to run back the bottom lane duo that they've had in both of the previous games. Just like you pointed out at the end of the previous game, Courage, Doublelift did have a point in the previous game where he was 6-0 on this Jinx.
Yes.
The problem was, then it was Spica and even more so Impact who found him again and again and again and made it so that Jinx couldn't carry. Now we're going to have the Lulu next to the Zeri next once again here on FlyQuest. So you've got junglers and bottom laners drafted in the first half. It's time for some solo lane bans, and the first one from FlyQuest bans Syndra away from Bjergsen.
100 Thieves now going with their 4th ban. Here in this one, you can see both teams matching up quite evenly so far outside of the Maokai. If I'm 100 Thieves, I'm pretty happy with that bot lane matchup. I would say so far, in all the games that 100 Thieves has played against FlyQuest, now 4 up to this point, this split, I would say the first 2 were way more of, oh my goodness, Prince completely styling on, completely being the hero. Where honestly, so far, Prince has played very well, but that definitely hasn't been the case. It's been the Spica and Impact show up to this point. Now with Closer getting the Wukong, you've got to think he's looking to be the impact maker this game.
Definitely will be. He's got eyes for that back line. He has played the Wukong exceptionally thus far this split. We're going to split bans here, actually. Ban away the Scion from top side. Taliyah is still open here for either side, honestly. Bjergsen has been a pretty good Taliyah as well. See what 100 Thieves try and respond with. Taking one off of probably VicLa here. Assuming FlyQuest are gonna get something for Impact Blind.
So the thing that I always look at when I think of these things is if you're FlyQuest, you feel comfortable taking something like the Taliyah, taking something that you're daring Bjergsen to essentially play an assassin into, because Bjergsen's not really an assassin player. There's a reason 100 Thieves are banning out the Akalis and things like that. Bjergsen has had some good games on it in the past, but he's known for more of those control scaling type of picks. FlyQuest going for the blind Renekton for Impact.
Yep, they saved their counter pick here for VicLa. The Taliyah banned out by 100 Thieves. Good ban from them. Impact has definitely been a good Renekton. Let's see what Tenacity wants to play into it with the Scion ban. Gragas is available. Gragas has been his other most played top lane champion. It looks like they'll instantly grab that for him. All right, Bjergsen, what do you got blind?
Gragas also a flex, could be played mid potentially, but no, all right. It will be Tenacity's Gragas top and Bjergsen Ahri here in the mid lane.
I will let you know that Ahri is my most played champion in League of Legends, so Bjergsen...
I thought you were a jungler.
Yeah, that's actually true right now. I have switched, but let's just say the nine-tailed fox. Sheesh! Oh, Veigar locked in. VicLa, what a performance on the Veigar in game number 1. Can he do it here in game 3? All right, Kobe, break it down for me. Where do you like this pick ban?
Honestly, I'm a bit worried for 100 Thieves. I'm sorry.
I want the truth. I want the truth.
I am a bit worried for them. They do have more playmaking available to them now. Bjergsen has been good on the Ahri. Both him and VicLa have been very strong Ahri players, so they will do you proud. I think Closer is going to have a pretty easy time too on Wukong early on in this game. So you won't run into some of the problems that you have previously, especially with the early game, but you might run into those late game problems.
I mean, I'm terrified right now when I'm not playing, considering the fact that imagine getting caught in the Veigar cage, then immediately the point-and-click stun from Renekton, the point-and-click stun from Maokai, and then the ultimate coming up through as well. Talk about lockdown. If you're out of position, you're not getting away.
So one thing that immediately comes to my mind here, because we're getting to see the Maokai, and because of what you talked about earlier, Kobe, with how FlyQuest was such a prominent supporter of Maokai picks earlier on in the split, Maokai shines in these neutral objective fights. The power of his ulti to control the entirety of the river and guarantee a good setup for those. Game number 1, first 4 neutral objectives over to FlyQuest. Game number 2, 100 Thieves suplexed him, said, nope, our turn now. Here in game number 3, I'm really going to be watching these junglers to see if Closer can build a lead on one of these 3 iconic champions of his, or if Spica is going to be able to drive control around the neutrals with that Maokai pick.
And the Maokai changes, I actually really like, because they mainly nerfed the most annoying Maokai that was the big power in saplings, lots of AP with the demonic everywhere. Now Maokai has 2 kind of new routes to go. You have 2 decisions. My preference is the tank decision. You get your Radiant Virtue, you get your Sunfire, you build tank stats. Maokai's still very good with tank items. Or now instead of the AP route for Maokai, there are a decent amount of players doing support style building jungle Maokai.
Q8 Trinity Force.
No, unfortunately, Flowers, it is not going to be as exciting. There are players build Moonstone, players build Mandate, so Spica could go one of those builds. He has a Renekton top lane, plenty of damage there, and 2 really big carries in VicLa and Prince on the Veigar and the Zeri, so we could see that angle from him, but I really do like the full tank.
I mean, especially with a bruiser top laner, 2 massive damage, pretty much infinitely scaling carries on your main carry roles, the front line being more prominent, being more robust, just feels like it's higher value here to me.
And guys, I do want to give some insight here. This is pretty high-level stuff. If 100 Thieves lose this game, they lose the series.
Ooh,
I got you guys. Want to make sure you guys all knew that. That's pretty hard to figure out. This is a best of 5. 100 Thieves, their backs against the wall, but they've got 2 of the longest standing veterans, 2 of the winningest veterans in LCS history. Can they will them? to a game 4, or will FlyQuest get the sweep?
Yeah, now is the time to pull out all of the stops here. They do have Doublelift back on the Jinx. He's taking Cleanse this time around to have one answer at least for the Veigar cage for later on. That is definitely a necessity.
I mean, you guys were talking about it earlier. Courage, I believe it was you pointed out, like, yeah, you know, cage into point-and-click stun from Renekton, point-and-click stun from Maokai. There's just so much CC.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to get out of whatever hits you first, or you're going to get hit by the entirety of everything. VicLa trading back and forth with Bjergsen here nice and early. As Impact hits level 2 first in the top side.
I also do want to put some of this on the rest of the members, the teammates. When you are playing an AD carry like Jinx, you do rely a lot on your teammates for your positioning, for peeling for you. And that was something I brought up in game number 2 about game number 1, but Spica's here for the first gank.
Flash into the twisted advance. Bjergsen flashes away in time before the cage materializes. So they're going to trade the Spica flash for the Bjergsen flash. Very, very valuable before Ahri hits level 6. She is now incredibly vulnerable to a repeat gank.
Yeah, Spica on this Maokai so many times in the regular season. This is his 6th play of the champion, doing the 3 camp into gank mid. It's just so easy, Maokai. Flash W guarantees you that engage. The small little window there of timer, though. Bjergsen's happy he was able to trade flashes and get out himself. Both junglers leave behind the wards around the top side of mid lane too, so both junglers know the opponents have their jungler clearing topside camps, and they both have the mid lane warded from that side, but Closer's going for the early attempt on Impact's life.
Impact's going to get ganked by the Wukong here, you would think.
Reading that movement, really.
All right, one bonk over the head. That's it.
He nearly got him.
Close.
Smack that crocodile on the head.
Bonk.
Honestly, though, so you saw the little things there is Impact. He was reading Tenacity's movement. As soon as Tenacity comes up to him while he's walking towards a brush, hey, there's a very high chance the enemy jungler's in that brush. So he walks away, and that's why he's able to get out with just a bonk on the head.
Tenacity staying here and fighting against Impact, who's just about had enough of it. Tenacity flashes away and lives, but Impact is running the lane up here.
Crocodile King. Impact, massive importance in the last match as well. Threatening that backline along with Spica. That's something that 100 Thieves is still going to have in the back of their minds.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that play really begins to start all the way back at the fact that Impact hit level 2 first. Got that big chunk down on towards Tenacity. He's been weak since then. It's crazy how one little moment like that, a second of difference, can make such a huge change in the lane.
Some people get lulled to sleep by this narrative of Impact only playing tank champions. But throughout his career, he's always had some damage-oriented champions, some bruisers, some carry champions, of course, at times. You know, he's got a Jax World Champion skin. Nothing to scoff at. And he really does play aggressively in the aggressive matchups when he's on one of the comfortable champions that he has. So he's really showing the other side here.
Well, right now, he'll just farm up the wave that Tenacity has crashed. This does afford the 100 Thieves top laner the opportunity to roam, and he'll roam towards mid. VicLa is pushed up far enough that the big man might be able to find himself an angle here, but with that wave about to crash into the mid lane turret, they're just going to allow Bjergsen to pick up the farm, and now it's VicLa who's got the roam. He'll make his way into the bottom side river. However, he was spotted out by a ward, so 100 Thieves is aware that FlyQuest is trying to set something up. Spica goes over the wall. He's only going to find some vision, clean that out. No early Drake from either side here. Early Drakes have defined both of the previous games because of the fact that one team or the other was able to get him before the Herald even spawned and then snowball that into more neutral control afterwards. But for now, things are going to stay relatively even.
Yeah, and Closer's not on the Xin Zhao this game like he has been this entire series. So the Wukong 3-6 ganks, not nearly as frightening as all of these Xin ganks towards the bottom side. Prince and Eyla should have a much easier time this time. And the bottom side staying safe. You see the same amount of effort being put in by FlyQuest, though. The vision coverage through this bottom river has been one of the biggest objectives for both teams. Double with a small CS lead down on bottom side.
Tenacity, again, just on the losing end of a trade up here. Impact has a very sizable CS lead right now, but a lot of that can be made up with these minions underneath the turret as Impact will back up just a little bit. Recognizing that Tenacity hits level 6, you've got to be respectful enough of the knockback potential of the Gragas ultimate. That's going to be one of the huge tools here for 100 Thieves as the game goes on. It'll be Tenacity and Closer looking to get those angles, find those engages. on especially VicLa. Because of the fact that Prince has mobility on the Zeri, VicLa is very vulnerable if he gets knocked out of position. If we remember back to one of the games against Evil Genius,
JoJo versus
I believe it was
100 Thieves.
Yeah.
Tenacity kept hitting JoJo.
Tenacity again and again and again, it would be JoJo's Veigar just knocked into an immediate death. So if Tenacity can dial that in against VicLa, really good sign there for 100 Thieves to be able to take us to a game 4.
Kurt, do you want to interpret some of these?
These are fake tweets. I see it. The chat is telling me right now. I have chat because I know everything from chat. It's the brightest players in the world are in Twitch chat. So looks like first advance towards this dragon will come in from 100 Thieves, and I think FlyQuest are going to try to contest this.
That last tweet there, also remember, at the beginning of the split, Tenacity said that he would shave his head if they lost to FlyQuest in playoffs. So it might be problematic here very soon. Spica going to be caught out here with a very start, but now closer on the front lines. Also going to be careful. First blood over to Bjergsen, and FlyQuest is in full retreat. VicLa might go next. Has the flash, and he gets away. Ayla's going to sidestep too, but 100 Thieves are happy with the way it went down.
Yeah, Bjergsen flash, Flowers. Bjergsen flash of death right there. He hits the charm. They get the kill. Flash also blown in for VicLa in a defensive manner. Tenacity's out of mana, so it should be fine. Yeah. And mid lane, they're not done.
They're gonna look for more. Eyla has no summoner spells. VicLa just had to pop his second one. FlyQuest is absolutely screwing around, and 100 Thieves is not gonna let him do it. Nice punish.
And it's the Dark Shield. That's what that's called, right? Is that what?
Yeah.
I know that.
Hell yeah.
From Bjergsen early on in this game. Going to be looking to stack that one up here as a rough start for FlyQuest going in towards that dragon, and it was the hook from Busio into the traps of Jinx, into the charm that winds up cutting down Maokai before he can even begin to try to move out of the way.
Yeah, another really good start. This start is actually even more accelerated than game number 2, 400 Thieves, even though FlyQuest, since they died first, they reset first, and they can go get Heralds, pick it up on the other side of the map. And Impact here constantly pushing on Tenacity is an issue. It's still very, very beneficial for 100 Thieves. Impact and the rest of FlyQuest making Tenacity lose more minions is actually fine for 100 Thieves because it means Doublelift gets to push out on bottom side. We'll see about the plate count, how much this Jinx is able to get, but funneling more money into Jinx towards their plan, I think it's a good call from FlyQuest, still getting themselves out of a very losing scenario.
Impact teleporting into the bottom lane, wants to be able to save the turret. He's going to clear out that minion wave and make it so 100 Thieves can't get anything else down there. Meanwhile, they summon up the Herald with the turret just having enough HP left for the charge to nearly kill it off. So the race has been won by the side of FlyQuest, but now Impact surely will die here. Wants to just clear out as many minions as he can, send these guys on a wild goose chase so they don't have free firing time on the turret. The minion wave dies, and it means they're going to trade Impact away for that turret on the top side. The 100 Thieves gold lead was almost 1,500. Now evaporated after the FlyQuest Rift Herald play.
And Tenacity able to get rid of the Rift Herald before it gets the slam on the top turret, which should be enough to stop the push coming in from FlyQuest. So actually a pretty decent trade right there from the side of 100 Thieves as Doublelift is able to stay here. They still have vision of so many players on FlyQuest. And look where Closer is. He's been farming some of these camps in the blue side jungle. Doublelift gonna have to back it up as it's VicLa who teleports on in. Getting closer and closer towards that second dragon spawn, 2.5 minutes away. Here in game number 3, it's still a slight gold advantage over to 100 Thieves.
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting sacrifice there from Impact. Teleporting in to get some minion waves and delay turret plate taking for Doublelift, but then still sacrificing his life and giving 100 Thieves that kill gold at least back over. Then they also want to save this next cannon minion wave and teleport VicLa in so they don't let any of this experience go to waste. But Doublelift is again going to be very far ahead here with the extra kills. So we'll see how it turns out. The thing that we brought up in game number 2 about game number 1, 100 Thieves need to watch out for these Spica flanks. It's very clear, very apparent from both games, the gameplay here. Spica always looking for flanks and assassinating Doublelift. So while this Jinx is very fed right now, they do need to help peel for him, ward on those flanks, track Spica, mark the champion, because Maokai ultimate is very wide and very hard to miss.
That's what I want to talk about here with teams looking for positioning around the bottom side river with a minute to go before the next Drake spawn. In that first Drake fight, the 100 Thieves won so handedly, Spica was level 5. There was no Maokai ulti, and the difference between that being there or not is huge. Now VicLa might just get dove here in the bottom lane, throws out an early cage, and the Spica ultimate is going to come out. VicLa's still getting focused, but Wild Growth is able to keep him alive. Now the charm back down to Eyla. Closer's already been killed. Eyla will not die. Busio throws out a little bit more, but Spica just delivers the Bramble smash. Bjergsen gets away, but Spica's ready to follow. FlyQuest ain't done. Prince wants a little bit more, and Bjergsen is his target. They don't quite have the damage just yet. Prince picks one up. Tenacity and Doublelift barely hobble away, and FlyQuest get one hell of a punch upside the jaw of 100 Thieves.
And look at the minimap. It's not just the devastation you saw on the bottom side, that tower dive. Guess what? The Crocodile unanswered will get a secondary turret as well. Impact also benefiting, while the rest of his team wins on the other side of the map. Closer gets here just after the tower is gone and the damage has been done. Impact gets out scot-free.
So what was the vision there from 100 Thieves? They thought even after seeing these two players in the war that they could blow up VicLa before anything winds up coming on in?
Yeah, the call's been made. Hey, there's no Crocodile teleport, so they know that they'll have the numbers advantage, but Doublelift is tanking the tower at the beginning. So that means Doublelift had to walk back out, couldn't damage. Closer then got the tower aggro changed onto him. He goes down for the first kill, and it's a disaster in the aftermath. VicLa was able to get off the early cage, and then he was rooted into Gragas ultimate, did not move. Prince flashes forward for the chase here, and that is massive for FlyQuest.
And now the Drake is on the menu, and FlyQuest appear to be uncontested. 100 Thieves just wanting to potentially trade something, as the death sentence over the wall will not find Impact or Eyla. Prince gonna look for a little bit of something here with a zap. Super Mega Death Rocket flies down from Doublelift, but not a whole lot to find there. The plate still being intact means Doublelift can't do a ton of damage to this turret, but he will get a little bit of bonus gold just by nature of taking the plate for himself. Meanwhile, bottom side, VicLa's trying to get this one with 5 seconds left to go. Let's see if he gets it. I'm not quite sure. One more hit will do it. Yep, there it is. Plate with 2 seconds to spare.
Not even close, baby. And look at that Veigar money, just like that, off the bottom side play, breaking it in.
Prior to that fight, I was going to mention how VicLa in game number 1, we mentioned how he was building fully to scale for the late game, but he wound up getting those 2 early kills and the assist, which when you're playing for a late game build and then you get the early money early on, you're feeling even better. This game, it wasn't the case for a moment there, but now has begun to swing it in his favor, now at 136 CS leading the lobby.
And if you remember what that turned into, the Veigar walking towards the Jinx and 2-tapping him.
It was pretty scary, to say the least.
So definitely do not let that Veigar easy access.
So if we're talking about scaling, the silver lining for 100 Thieves, the gold graph was up on the side of the screen a moment ago. Doublelift is still the richest man on Summoner's Rift. In terms of individual money, he is still 600 ahead of Prince, who is the richest man on FlyQuest. You always have the Doublelift might be able to carry it option for 100 Thieves, but there's got to be so much focus on him. He's the VIP, he's got to be protected. It's a Jinx game or it's a FlyQuest game.
Yeah, and there's so many big zone control CC tools for FlyQuest this game that they have a lot of options. They don't have to do this surgical removal. They've got Maokai ultimate into Veigar cages. So that cleanse button is going to get a lot of work, and that cooldown is going to need to be tracked here by the side of FlyQuest. Last game, Impact had a really good Anathema's Chains purchase to increase the CC duration on an opponent, and if 100 Thieves are putting so much effort towards that angle, then that would be another good purchase this time around.
So far in this series, 100 Thieves have had a lot of moments where they had the game in their favor, where they had the lead, where you thought, hey, as long as they play things right, they could begin to snowball this. And then there's been some questionable plays in the bot lane both times that have come back to bite them. We'll see if they can bounce back here.
I think one of the ways they could bounce back would be finding a pick off of Ahri plus Thresh. That is a lot of pick potential there. We saw last time around the effectiveness of the Charm and Flash from Bjergsen, and his flash is just coming back up off cooldown. And if you see all these wards here through the river, they definitely do have pockets of Fog of War to try and work with and try and make one of those sneaky plays. 3,000 gold lead though for FlyQuest, and I think it's an easy push in on mid lane preemptively. That Herald pop, that's basically guaranteed. The tower is going to die.
And while we were watching VicLa farm up in the bottom lane, he has 163 AP farmed up through his passive. That's the equivalent of about 4 blasting wands for any other champion in the game. Of course, it is part of his kit that he's balanced around having that extra power, but when you're farming up this effectively, when you're averaging 1 extra bonus AP, or 10 per minute, excuse me, it's very, very scary. Anybody gets caught, the burst from the Veigar is going to kill them, and VicLa just continues maxing out on this farming potential, already up to 172 now, as Spica is going to come down into the bottom lane. They throw out the cage, they force Bjergsen's ulti, the Maokai ulti following it up over the wall. Spica's gonna tank up this turret so they can finish it off, grab the money on that one. FlyQuest 4K gold ahead, 17 minutes in.
Yep, getting both of those outer towers pre-dragon does so much because, yeah, it's 1,000 more gold for your team, but also now there's no defense for 100 Thieves to move over towards those dragons, so 100 Thieves might consider just giving those up as we've got a crocodile lying in wait.
Shh, quiet impact. Make a sound. Okay, TP's coming in.
Oh, what a
now
flank.
Impact is going to show himself, but the TP's... Oh, the TP just barely makes it in time. Doublelift's going to be focused down. Impact whipped towards Busio because he knew Doublelift was going to be pulled to safety. Now they want to camp out and look for Bjergsen. Tenacity's here in the middle. VicLa flashes away. Closer here on the front line now too. Prince fires out the zap. Tenacity walks right into the cage. Now Spica's ready to chase, and 100 Thieves are on the run. Doublelift is still alive. They knock him out of the way of the Dark Matter, and Eyla's going to be killed before anything. Prince jumps over the wall, but now he's going to be a target. FlyQuest have screwed this up, and 100 Thieves are fighting back beautifully. Nice shutdown on Prince.
That is one long extendo bonk from Closer. The auto is already off, and then he flashes over, able to get the kill. Can they get the tower afterwards? They're going to push out. Dragon
now up. They're going to go for it. And you mentioned the kill potential comes in with the Ahri charm when that fight is looking so grim. As this goes on, you see the engage coming in. Busio doing a great job of keeping Impact off of Doublelift. One of the things we really do need to see if 100 Thieves want to have a chance. The fight goes in. Finally, VicLa shows up. Cage comes on down, immediately get damage on the Tenacity. He winds up flashing out and stays alive. Closer gets out. The Thresh cage comes on through as the Dragon...
He just walked up and stole it. He just walked into the pit and stole it away. 100 Thieves lost the objective. But now what about the fight? Prince is coming in over the wall. They're seeing if they might be able to do a little bit more as Closer's going to be polymorphed. He's in a little bit of danger as Impact and Prince want to deal with everybody else, but Doublelift's got this shut down, and now he's trying to deal with Prince. VicLa's coming in to back him up. Prince is killed. What in the world is he doing? Doublelift trying to get back away as Spica looks for something else. It'll be Closer, traded for Impact and Prince, so 100 Thieves win the fight, but FlyQuest stole the objective.
Closer did not have a smite charge looking at that dragon, and so Spica got to walk up. Happy birthday, FlyQuest.
That's a good leash.
He's able to yank it. Yeah, look at that. There's no cooldown, no charge for Closer. They're slow-moing it just for more pain.
Hey, production? What's that about, production? Why are we doing the slow-mo there, guys?
Got it with the Q. Wait a second. Was that spectator thing correct?
I never know what to do with the spectator anymore. I feel like
I want to check because I'm pretty sure there was no smite for him either. I'm pretty sure that was just a smiteless duel, and it's the Maokai Q. Spica gets it, so it's still a fair fight. Still a fair fight. He gets it, but they do end up getting the kills. Prince down again. Doublelift did a good job on that duel with him, and Bjergsen came back from the other side.
So gold lead has gone from 4,000 to about 1,700. Yeah, yes, FlyQuest still ahead in this game. What does this mean for the long term? You know, we're now 20 minutes in. When this game gets to 40 minutes in, if this goes all the way, who does that favor with these team comps in your opinion, Kobe?
Honestly, both team comps have pretty good ways to play out towards late game. There's a lot of variation in how a team with Gragas frontline and Thresh actually plays out because the skill shots and the angles are so much more difficult to pull off than a Maokai ultimate and Cage are a lot bigger. And so both of them do have good ways to pull it out. Not a big difference. I don't think they have to feel super pressured in it. Focus on the execution. Veigar, of course, can scale infinitely, so you always got that to worry about.
That is quite good.
Spica looking for a chance to go in here. They're only going to find Tenacity, but remember, it's not a tank Gragas. This man is full AP. He may just die here, and VicLa's on a killing spree now. With the Maokai ulti unleashed, they're going to lock down more players on the side of 100 Thieves. Busio wants to get away, but Spica's ready to lock him down again. A double kill back over to VicLa means FlyQuest continues winning these fights. It's a 2-for-0, and with Doublelift at only 40% HP with no flash, FlyQuest is thinking about more.
Yeah, I think they're going to get more, too. Doublelift is still alive. Jinx around Baron Pit. They can go look for the contest. No vision for themselves. No Scryer's orbs either. So it's some face checking right now.
Closer thinking about it. He knows that a steal here could bring him right back into a good position in this game. VicLa doesn't want to let him in, and it's going to be secured by Spica. FlyQuest back to a 4,000 gold lead.
Just like that, how quickly the tides can change. A bit too crazy of a fight in the mid lane for 100 Thieves. They will take a turret on the way out, but with Baron now into play, how much can FlyQuest get done on the map? Let's take another look at this fight.
Spica comes through from the riverside. And you see it mini-map right now, that crocodile coming up through the river, impact on the flank as well. The first Veigar cage basically gets Tenacity. So that the way that you're fighting around these team fights with Veigar cage and Maokai ultimate, honestly, just so difficult for 100 Thieves.
I didn't even think Tenacity got to move his character until he was at 4% HP.
Yeah, and the way that Veigar goes with the double scaling
there's a pick.
now.
Oh, nice pick on Spica there. Doublelift gets it, goes on a rampage. FlyQuest getting a little bit too ahead of themselves here as they invade and try to set up for the next Drake.
And that's one of the most important tools they have. The Maokai ultimate lets them clear out any lane they want to push, force 100 Thieves back, gives them time to take down whatever turret they want to pressure. So that's a great start to this Baron buff. If you're aside 100 Thieves, you're more than happy to take that one.
Yeah, 100 Thieves big.
Prince!
40% HP here. Closer getting away from that cage. Again, VicLa always looking to set up these zones of control and keep these guys out. Spica's going to be back alive in 5 seconds. He still has his ulti. He has his flash for whenever he can join back up with the team.
Yeah, so 100 Thieves, it is more difficult for them to fight straight up front-to-back team fights because of the Maokai ultimate and the Veigar cage, but they have a lot of pick potential. The Ahri, not to scale as well as the Veigar, but is going to provide a possible burst option.
VicLa has done so much solo farming. He has 2 levels up on everyone on 100 Thieves. They try to force the charm. They do get out. The Maokai ult is a whiff. They'll force him on back. But control of the river goes to FlyQuest. And this has all the signs of it being their dragon, as Bjergsen's going to have to go get his health up.
Bjergsen losing the ulti there in order to escape. Ahri without ult can barely contribute to the team fight. So difficult to navigate those without the mobility. And that means FlyQuest get to go to Soul Point. 24 minutes into this game, the pressure continues to mount against 100 Thieves. Doublelift still has 100% kill participation and 0 deaths. But it's getting tougher and tougher by the minute for 100 Thieves to be able to find their way to win here.
FlyQuest now beginning the push. Baron still on for another 17 seconds. The stun comes on through. It's going to chunk down Tenacity a little bit. No one getting knocked into the turret there. And no hook from Busio as well. I do not believe the Baron will last long enough to get this turret, as the wave won't make it there in time. But they still might be able to push this one down by brute force.
They did get the turret in mid lane. Instead, it was Impact taking that one in front of Bjergsen as Spica looks for the opportunity to just distract them a little with the ulti, allow the rest of FlyQuest to force down the tier 2 turret. So FlyQuest go up 6 turrets to 2.
And I think once VicLa is able to finish this death cap on the Veigar, there's not really going to be a window back in, because that thing right to the face just blows up anybody on 100 Thieves. The cage is already a big problem. There's a second needlessly large rod. It's kind of looming in front of you here.
And he's almost at level 16 in this one.
Yeah,
absolutely having a field day. They're giving him all the solo lanes he can get. They know he infinitely scales. They know when he gets fully online, there's few things 100 Thieves can do outside of a charm to stop him. Yes, Doublelift again, a great start. But unless this man is able to shell on FlyQuest without anyone reaching him, 100 Thieves are going to have themselves some tough team fights up ahead.
100 Thieves at least grabbing that final tier 1 turret from FlyQuest, taking an objective bounty in the process, brings the gold lead back down below 4K again, but it's got to get lower. The gold's got to get closer if 100 Thieves wants a chance. It's still 3 minutes before the Drake Soul spawns. FlyQuest is ready to reinforce. They're ready to go in. Spica fires off the ulti, but everybody's not here yet. They can't quite join in. Spica's now going to take a lot of damage for free. If Doublelift can get excited, this might be the angle they're looking for. FlyQuest is totally disjointed. They wanted to go in there and catch 100 Thieves, but they didn't have the positioning. And Doublelift gets a lot of damage for free because of it, and 100 Thieves disengage.
Still not enough, though. Not enough to find the first initial kill on the Maokai, as he did get immediately chunked out on the pressure on through, but Spica stays alive due to the help of that Lulu. As now the gold lead at around 3.8K, 2 minutes until the potential Dragon Soul spawns for FlyQuest. What's the win condition here? Is it simply Doublelift go kill? Are they taking a page out of the book of 100 Thieves Valorant, Kobe?
I think it has to be vision control first and foremost. That could get you a pick. A pick is so much more valuable than having to expertly outplay a teamfight around Maokai ult and Cage. I think the higher value chance for, if you're looking at it from 100 Thieves perspective, is to set up early vision before this dragon gets here and look for picks. If you can blow the flashes or cleanses off of some FlyQuest members, then maybe you've got a better way back into it. And for FlyQuest, stability is king right now. All they have to do is not have anyone face check these brush, go back, grab your control wards, work your way out through these hex gates with your control wards, have your Maokai front line here, Veigar Cage backs him up, and you just walk straight through.
Okay, boys. All right.
Go.
The Baron has respawned. The Drake that will be sold for FlyQuest spawns in 75 seconds. 100 Thieves are now tasked with a very difficult game state. You got to make sure they don't get the Baron. You got to make sure they don't get the Dragon. You got to make sure Doublelift doesn't get picked. You got to make sure that you're ready for any of these zone control tools. You got to make sure you're ready for a flash engage. There's a lot of stuff 100 Thieves has to do, and if you fail anything on the checklist, everything's going to go from bad to worse. Good old classic North American ARAM here, 28 minutes in, as the teams are ready to stand off before the showdown.
Impact looking for potential entry. Does 100 Thieves have any idea he's in there? Not entirely sure as of yet, as looks like they'll quickly clear that way with the help of the Veigar W, as maybe now they'll go back in for an engagement. Doesn't look like it as of yet. No need to force it. Still 27 seconds till this Dragon. And again, FlyQuest have initial control of the river.
So something that I want to bring up is a lot of times in the past, you would have teams try to threaten this, oh, well, if you take the Dragon, we're going to take the Baron instead. But it's so easy for FlyQuest to get the Dragon with just one player that you got to keep your eyes on exactly where everyone is. Even one damage dealer missing can take the Dragon all on their own. FlyQuest now opting to have control further in the direction of the Drake, and you can see Prince is already down on the Drake itself. This is what I'm talking about. One guy can do it. All it takes is one damage dealer on the objective. FlyQuest are going after it. The burst is coming out. They fire the Scryer plan over the wall, but Closer's not able to close any distance. Flash Charm coming out from Bjerg, but it only finds Eyla. It's not going to do enough. Impact off to the side, but VicLa goes after Doublelift, and he finds the shutdown. It's 2 kills over to FlyQuest, and they ain't done yet. Prince leads the charge. Everybody dies on 100 Thieves. It's a 5-0 ace, and it will end this game and end this series. FlyQuest may have stumbled at the end of Spring Split, but they're back in form, they're locked and loaded, and they make an example out of 100 Thieves.
The curse hasn't been broken. I'm done. I retire. I have to retire.
Oh no!
FlyQuest.
They're just
They're going to fountain dive it too!
FlyQuest
they're
are going to
bleeding.
fountain dive and get the ace. It's a statement series for FlyQuest. We'll see you in Rally as they get the job done.
Oh no, I feel so bad. 100 Thieves take the loss, and we may have lost courage on the desk forever.
I quit.
I'm sorry, bud.
I quit.
We had a good run, buddy.
Papa Smithy, you're the only caster that deserved to be up here today.
Didn't they lose when Papa casted them as the FlyQuest?
I
Oh
quit.
yeah, when Papa casted FlyQuest versus Liquid smacked them.
So Papa knew better than to get up here for this series.
We should have had a quad cast with
Stop.
Courage and Papa, and then we would have seen which curse.
my.
Is this a draw?
Yeah. Somehow neither Nexus explodes.
FlyQuest, congratulations! A nice 3-0 there as they kick off their playoffs run in about the best way you possibly can.
Really, really good luck from FlyQuest. They look so much better than even the last 3 weeks of the LCS, where they were really struggling with their coordination in their team fights, with their communication during the games, and it just looks so much better in so many different fronts. Especially I want to shout out because Eyla's been getting a lot of trash. The Nami game specifically was quite good from him, a lot of those bubbles, and FlyQuest here really making a statement game in playoffs.
FlyQuest have earned themselves a spot in Raleigh. We do not know yet if it will be immediately in the finals or if they'll need to play in that penultimate match. However, this also means for 100 Thieves, they're playing again this week. They've got 1 day of rest tomorrow for preparation, getting ready for the next opponent. It will be Golden Guardians on Saturday that 100 Thieves plays against, and that one is an elimination match. Loser is done until summer. Winner still keeps their chances alive. But FlyQuest in this one, man, game 1 was a stomp. Game 2, 100 Thieves looked like they had it, and then FlyQuest found a way back in, and then the momentum after that comeback win in Game 2 snowballed through Game 3, 3-0 finish. These guys are back in form, and I think if you're every other team in the playoffs, you're doing a double take now, because FlyQuest is back.
FlyQuest is definitely back. That's what our title for today will be. FlyQuest is back with a vengeance, opening playoffs with a bang. That was super fun. Game number 2 especially, very close. 100 Thieves with a pretty big lead they were unable to convert on. Definitely some stuff for them to go back and review after this series, though.
Hey, maybe the rocket just needed some more fuel. They stopped.
It didn't stop, it just took a detour?
Or the rocket, I'm too heavy for the rocket to carry.
Oh, no.
Maybe that's the other thing. So
it wasn't going to stop, but now.
Then they just ditched me off the cargo, and now it's just right back to the moon. I mean, look, FlyQuest, great way to rebuttal. 100 Thieves had the momentum of these two teams going into today's matchup. That's now FlyQuest 5-0 against the 100 Thieves LCS team in the Spring Split. Pretty impressive matchup there for them. And for 100 Thieves, we've got to see how they can bounce back against Golden Guardians later this weekend.
Exactly. 100 Thieves have showed us that they can go through tough times, come back stronger. They were on a 7-game loss streak earlier on in the split, only to bring it back and go on a massive win streak towards the end of things. So that's what I really want to see. More of that learning, more of that team coming together and figuring out what were the issues here in this series. It started off, game number 1, we blamed the level 1 because honestly, it was a little wacky. It set them behind. Game number 2, they were super far ahead, but they had to protect the Doublelift comp, and all of a sudden, Doublelift wasn't getting protected. And then in game number 3, I feel like it just continued to snowball from that second game. So hopefully 100 Thieves will be ready to go up against Golden Guardians here on Saturday. Like I said, they still have an entire day to prepare for that one and sort of reload and reassess where they're at and what they're doing.
Yeah, honestly, take a breather, think about it for a while. No quick judgments.
Yeah. I'm going to go get dumplings after this. That's the only thing finding me solace.
I think you might need to bring Tenacity with you because I think some dumplings might be the call here for 100 Thieves. But hey, reminder to all you guys, with playoffs now underway, we are officially live with tickets for the LCS Spring Final in Raleigh, North Carolina on April 8th and April 9th. By winning here today, FlyQuest have locked in their trip for that weekend. So if you want to see them play on the big stage, head to Ticketmaster.com and get yours before they're all gone. We finally got to bring back road shows last year. They were both badass, and we're hoping to keep it rolling here in 2023. But now with the series wrapped up, we're going to hand it back over to the LCS Lounge, where Prince and Impact will be joining up with the analysts momentarily.
Thank you very much, CaptainFlowers. Yep, we're just waiting for them to get over here. We'll mic them up after a dominating 3-0 series.
Destructive.
Yeah, that was I was shocked. Even as someone who predicted FlyQuest, the fact that they could come back in some of these games so they fell behind, that was very impressive.
Yeah, the way I saw this is a lot more. I mean, we got game 2 where it was a little bit. But FlyQuest's main weakness in terms of the games that they've lost, in my opinion, again, is like when they choose fights. And we even did see some of that in game 2, specifically the topside fight that I believe you called out, Raz, when we were reviewing the tape in front of the giant wall over there.
Yeah.
And I think that is it. Like, I'm not saying I necessarily saw a more cautious FlyQuest, but I do think that they were a little bit more thoughtful about like itemization and setup, and the flanks that Impact was able to get in a lot of these games were phenomenal.
Even game 3, it did start very well for 100 Thieves again. I think they had like a 1 or 2K gold lead after this initial fight that went in their favor. Jinx, again, Doublelift was getting ahead. He was pretty far ahead at some points in this game. And I think it just showed that, FlyQuest is a team that people maybe slept on a little bit. They were still 6-3 in the second round robin. To your point, some of their games were messy, but they were still winning a lot of games in the second half of the split, and they were no means bad. And as you hit playoffs, you start taking your fights a little bit more seriously.
Yeah, I mean, FlyQuest as a team, whenever you hear them in interviews, they're really self-critical. They're the most critical of their own performances, even of the stuff that you don't see. When they're in their win streak, they're the one telling us about their scrim win streak. Them losing in scrims, I mean. Like, they're the ones telling us that. You're like, oh, okay, like, they're telling like Travis or any interviewers that it's like they're not happy with their current play. So I always wondered what would happen during playoffs. Like, would they turn it on? Extremely disciplined. The team fights that we saw, to your point, Emily, night and day in comparison to the regular season. And so this is the FlyQuest that now we have to put in comparison to C9 and stuff like that. If they're the favorites, just based off this series alone, it was dominant.
Yeah, I think that they didn't lose their identity either. That made them so good. Like, Prince was still going hamburgers in these fights. Look at this. He's still going over the wall into 3 people all the time. Like, he's super aggressive. In game 2, he did it sometimes when he probably shouldn't have, but, like, it speaks to his mindset, why he was, excluding tiebreakers, the kill leader in the LCS. He is an incredibly bloodthirsty player, and when he gets even set behind a little bit, he can still make big plays in team fights.
And I think that ties into something you said, I believe, at top of day, Mark, where it's like, you think that both of these teams play similarly enough that the team that is stronger is going to win out, and you had said that would be FlyQuest in a 3-1. And I do think when it came down to a lot of these 5v5 fights, the difference maker was, in a lot of cases, Impact, and just the way they were able to set up around flanks with Impact, VicLa, or zone control from VicLa and Spica.
All right, we're going to go ahead and bring Prince and Impact in now.
Get on in here.
Verizon post-game interview with these 2 guys after dominating that series.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you. So how does it feel now that you got your first playoff win as a team? Were you guys nervous at all?
I'm not nervous. What about you?
I didn't too, but our support a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Also, when we come stadium, I sing music very loudly.
That sounds like confidence. Did you guys expect to come in this strongly? Like a 3-0 finish to me, especially with how 100 Thieves is ramping in the playoffs, I was shocked by that.
I mean, to me, kind of 100 is overrated about like lane sub situation. They keep using Jinx, they lane push and keep lane sub. So if you don't know what to do, then you're gonna lose more, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think second game is good example. We lost too much. Then, I mean, but they're one trick about that. So, and we won, and we think if they do again, just keep doing that. Anyway, I think we're gonna win. So, because we are player is better.
Yeah. Prince, how did it feel to beat Doublelift? Did you feel bad because you're his son of Doublelift, but you kill him in playoffs?
Before match, some reviewers said, "Oh, take picture with Prince," but he said no. So, he's very serious. I think he's very serious today. But after match, after three game, and he just smiled to me. And I said, "Oh, I wish you see you again."
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That's really nice.
So I have to bring up predictions from the start of the day.
Bring it up.
Raz,
Bring it
One
up.
of us didn't believe in you.
didn't believe in you.
Oh, God, guys.
Do you have anything to say to Raz?
Are you playing League of Legends?
So I will say the fans, it was like even voting.
Yeah.
Because 100 Thieves did very good. You guys, people thought end of season you were struggling more. Did you still have confidence going to postseason? Like, do you still think your title contenders, favorites to win, maybe?
I'm not sure. I think we need to play against C9 first next week. Oh shit.
Oh,
That's yeah. Okay. It's a high chance.
CLG, what are you saying?
Okay. High chance C9 come. So I just guessed that C9 come. Then I can say that I get confident. But against 100T, I mean, I get pretty confident because the top liner is like kind of rookie and doesn't know matchup. I mean, today, especially when he plays Cho'Gath and the Gragas, he go Comet, and I think, nah, this is, I'm not getting nervous because I saw Rune. I just click tab and I'm not getting nervous, of course, because too easy matchup. Anyway, I think we have a confidence to ourselves, and we just need to more learn about detail, right? Because I think today's game was kind of good or kind of bad, half.
Early game bad.
Yeah. When I'm the third game, when we lose Drake fight, I got shocked. It was like, guys, is this game free? If we just get header from Renekton prior and just play through, we win, and we say, we should win. And like, okay, it's fine, just move on. But yeah, when you pick that kind of problem, then I think we get pretty confident and be ready to against winner.
C9.
Yeah.
No.
Especially in game 2, it was super important, but you also took it in game 3. I forget about game 1. I want to ask you about Anathema's change and kind of your role as a top laner, knowing how 100 Thieves play, knowing that they're going to keep Doublelift on the Jinx or a hyper carry. How did you approach knowing that, like, at all costs, you're going to go in and kill Doublelift?
That's only hope. The second game, we keep saying that we should kill Jinx, but how? I'm thinking, okay, I need a Q flash, or just we need to go in somehow to kill Jinx. And we just keep talking about how we can flank and how we can look angry, because we have a chance to win that game because they, what's that team called? Thresh, Jinx, Sion, what's the jungle? Jinzhao, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking the top side is weak later. Sion doesn't have that protect teammate.
Yeah.
And Jinzhao doesn't help. I can help with it, I guess, but I think Clutch doesn't think that way to ulti to push the team Wukong or then K'Sante. So I'm thinking, we can win that, and and somehow we got it to end Baron side, and like, wow, actually we can win. And Spica exciting too much, and I remember he go alone to go, when the enemy hit poster, he exciting he go alone, and he die. I said, please go together, or we're gonna lose. And he said, oh, maybe. But yeah, that's how we won that, I think. We just talk about how we can flank or how we can look at the back line more.
That makes sense. And a question that I have is mostly just like on the improvements that you guys have made from like later on in the split. I know you guys were saying that you guys felt like you guys were playing worse in comparison to the beginning of this split, right? But then from that point till now, just it feels like stomping 100 Thieves in a 3-0 finish. What do you guys, like both of you guys, feel that really like felt that? What was the biggest improvement?
From what? Like
from like regular season when you guys were starting to lose a little bit more. Like, is it discipline? Because you guys were talking a lot about like scrims not looking good.
I think meta change is big too.
Yeah.
It's now it's kind of like AD jungle meta. I mean, we played Maokai, but still like AD jungle kind of matter. Like before was like Maokai, Sejuani, so it's kind of easy to tracking enemy jungle and play to bot side, If your city level doesn't come bottom is like, and it's over, right?
Yeah.
Zeri, Lulu, Shan matter.
Yeah.
So that's why we can play the bot side and play too easy, because Prince is pretty good about that.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, but after that, now after jungle change, you have so many options. Now mid is strong. I'm not sure actually top is strong, but still, you can choose that like Jax or Gwen, this kind of champ to steer. So you have more options. That's why I think we getting confused to watch our look. Example like our bottom doesn't know when jungle going to top side, mid side before, but now they play safe and they know limit. That's why I think now looks better than before.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Prince, with this win, you're going to North Carolina for finals weekend, maybe third, fourth, maybe finals. Are you excited to play in front of North American crowd, the whole fans, like in a big stadium? Are you excited about that?
Yeah, I didn't play with big stadium and too many fans, so many players say if you go Worlds or World Series, when you play, too many people shouting to you.
Yeah, you
really
the stadium shakes and
really awesome experience. So I wanna feel that.
All right, cool.
Good.
I'm excited because if you're a fan, you can go buy your tickets now to see Prince in person. Everyone can go try and get a picture, autograph.
Who do you guys think is going to be player of the series from your team? Who do you guys think deserves it?
Everybody some point int. So I was no clue because last game I think VicLa played well.
Yes.
But second game I think me and
Monkey.
Yeah, no. Spica played well, I think.
Yes.
That's the plank. And first game.
So it's the monkey that wins.
Oh my God. He int.
Hey, you said everyone inted.
Yeah, but the first, actually I don't remember first game.
He was Wukong again.
Yeah, you did that Sion level.
No, that's Sion gap.
That's you?
No, that invade gap and make the change the jungle cannot play game.
Yeah.
But, okay, I understand.
Prince, do you agree with this player of the series? Do you think he deserves it?
Oh, sure.
There you go. That's a thumbs up.
Yeah, Spica had a pretty good game. I thought a lot of bans in the jungle was interesting, forcing.
Oh, because I think Closer want Oryx make play to early game much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they started, can make them time for 30-minute, 40-minute game.
Yeah.
So that's why we just banned that, because if we ban that, they cannot make their longer game, They
Yeah.
can close the game early.
And I would like to say, because he played really well, but I think you guys as a team played really well in being able to. You mentioned how Closer wasn't using Xin Zhao to basically defend you guys flanking, but you guys did that a lot. So I know that Spica ended up getting the win here, but I felt like your team fights were just really good this series. Do you guys think that this is the team fight you guys see in scrims? Is this a team fight that we haven't really seen on stage, or you guys feel like you guys improved at that?
We just surrender people to enemy.
You guys are FF team?
Yeah, no. Actually,
Run
sometimes,
mid and FF.
but it's not like this long game normally.
Yeah.
People, not like this, but I don't know. Our team play well. They're in serious.
Yeah.
But they understand their job. If you understand what you can do in the team fight, that's if 5 people need understand, then should be good team fighter.
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Cool, thank you. So let's go ahead and pull up the bracket now to take a look at the rest of playoffs. FlyQuest moving on to the winners match. Even if they lose that game, they'll be playing in the winners finals. That's why they are in Raleigh locked in. So if you want to see them, go ahead and buy those tickets. Otherwise, we have C9 CLG tomorrow. Definitely a close match, as Impact has said.
Yeah.
Close match.
Yeah, no one know.
Yeah, 100 Thieves is going to move down to play Golden Guardians on Saturday. The loser of C9 and CLG will play on Sunday versus Evil Geniuses. That does it for us. Tomorrow, Jensen will be joining the broadcast for C9 versus CLG at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Impact, Prince, thank you so much for the interview, and good luck with the rest of the playoffs.
Thanks so much.
Ooh, all right.
Bye.
Are kicking off some best of 5 action here today with FlyQuest and 100 Thieves going head to head. I'm CaptainFlowers, that's Kobe, and we are joined for this best of 5 bout by Courage himself, ready to join us for the TriCast.
Spica pops the ultimate, Nami wave in as well. Closer getting low, does get the resurrect, as you mentioned, plays in so well with Xin Zhao, but he does still go down to the damage of Veigar. That's first blood for FlyQuest, 2 now as well, as it all begins to fall apart for 100 Thieves.
Busio is killed, and Bjergsen falls back. He doesn't use the ultimate. He's still got it ready to go. Closer's here on the front line. Now he's going to be resurrected by Bjergsen, but it means Doublelift has no way out. A double kill on VicLa. It's 3 dead bodies wearing 100 Thieves colors.
And it's going to be FlyQuest striking first here in our best of 5.
Closer's here in the middle, as Impact wants to tank up in the front. Spica's ready to follow it up here with a Cyclone. Closer's taking low, but he ain't going to be taken down. Finally falls over. Spica taking a lot of damage. Where's Prince at? Massive shockwave coming out of Bjergsen. A double kill back on a double lift. And 100 Thieves just got 3. VicLa rides the wall, but he doesn't get a whole lot done with it. Doublelift now, popping the stasis. Beautifully done to drop some of the aggro, but he's still going to be caught and killed. VicLa grabbing the credit now, as Closer again looks for Prince. The shutdown on Bjergsen. 100 Thieves are dropping like flies. Impact going to be played back into the team. He's trying to survive. VicLa comes around from the side, and now Doublelift's going to be jumped on yet again. He's already dead, and Bjergsen dies beside him. And it's all FlyQuest, ready to take this one all the way home.
Forget about my 100 Thieves allegiances. I just want more games of League of Legends, okay? So, come on, 100 Thieves! Give me something here to cheer for, please!
Spica's ready to chase, and 100 Thieves are on the run. Doublelift is still alive. They knock him out of the way of the Dark Ladder, and Eyla's going to be killed before anything. Prince jumps over the wall, but now he's going to be a target. FlyQuest have screwed this up, and 100 Thieves are fighting back beautifully. Nice shutdown on Prince. Flash charm coming out from Bjerg, but it only finds Eyla. It's not going to do enough. Impact off to the side, but VicLa goes after Doublelift, and he finds the shutdown. It's 2 kills over to FlyQuest, and they ain't done yet. Prince leads the charge. Everybody dies on 100 Thieves. It's a 5-0 ace, and it will end this game and end this series.